So how do we increase your close rate? Define, measure, improve. So let's define it so that we can measure it, and once we measure it, we can improve it. Fair enough. How to increase close rate? Let's start by defining. Close rate is equal to the number of closed sales over the number of sales conversations in total. Right? So the rate at which you successfully close over the sales conversations equals your close rate. So if you want to improve your close rate, you really can improve your closed sales per number of sales conversations that you have. So let's define a closed sale. Closed sale. In order to get a closed sale, you basically got the lead to decide to buy. In this case, coverage, but in general, you get a closed sale by getting the lead to decide to buy, or when the lead decides to buy, I should say. The lead decides to buy when they've done a cost-benefit analysis, cost versus benefit, on the cost of not having coverage in this case versus the benefit of having coverage, and they decide that the benefit outweighs the cost, right? How do we get them to do this? To provide them with the opportunity to do the cost-benefit analysis? Well, you as the agent help the lead properly ID their pain point and properly ID or identify the solution to that pain point. The solution being the coverage, of course. And their pain point could be any number of things. Legacy planning, college saving, debt relief, restructuring. There's a bunch of reasons why people who don't have coverage need coverage. So you help them discover this, make it very clear, and then provide them with the information from this. You'll be able to do this from verifying and qualifying the lead information. So you get the lead information, you verify it, that it's accurate, you qualify it, saying that, they're within a region that you're able to help them with, they're in the age range, health range, etc. All the basics, so that you can move on to helping them identify and clarifying their pain points, providing the identification of the solution, which allows them to do their analysis, which allows them to decide, which closes a sale. And you get to this point by learning how to properly introduce, build rapport, and info gather. So you have this conversation or go through this sequence many more times than your lead will. So you're better at this than they are, which means you lead the conversation. So you can operationalize your introduction, your information gathering, which builds rapport. Then you can move on to qualifying and verifying, then IDing, then cost benefit analysis, then helping the lead to make a decision, which ends up being a closed sale. And this right here, this is your sales framework. Some people say script. To me, it's really a framework because it doesn't go exactly the same every time, but there are components that you hit that you need every time, right? And since you have a sales framework, you can operationalize and increase your ability to get these components done. So you can get better at introductions, you can get better, more efficient at information gathering, you can get better at qualifying and verifying lead information, you can get better at IDing the pain points, you can get better at two things as far as the solution. First of all, making sure that you have the best solution for the lead, and then making sure you're able to explain it the best, which allows them to do their cost benefit analysis and decide that the benefit of coverage outweighs the cost of coverage, which allows the lead to decide to buy, which results in more closed sales. More closed sales equals a higher close rate, given the same amount of sales conversations. How to increase your close rate?